What's happening, good people? Just wanted to come on today with a tale from when I was a full-time martial arts teacher. This one is from a time when I taught a women's self-defense class. I used to do that. I used to try to do one of those like every quarter when I would teach, just because, and I would do it for free. Just because, I mean, it's just good to be aware of the situation. Now, I guess I don't expect anybody to go out there being Bruce Lee after one session. But if you can just, think, hey, let me look where I'm at. Just something to help make your situation awareness be a little bit better is always beneficial. So, during this time, I did a women's self-defense class. I wanted them to work on throws, and I'm a firm believer in that you can't practice throwing anybody unless you throw somebody. So you can say what you will. You can get your dummy, which is fine. That's good. That's a good practice. That's good practice for you to work on and refine technique. But at the same token, you're gonna need a human body to give you some actual resistance. Have them start off with little resistance, then real resistance, and see how you fare with that. That's how you know if the technique is real and whether or not you fully understand it or can execute it. Now, with that, I just had the ladies working on throws and whatnot, and also this thing too. I was for some reason I was always the one to do demonstration on when it came to getting thrown and things like that. One, because I was younger, and two, I knew how to break my fall, and I hurt myself. And I will get sometimes thrown pretty high and pretty far and hit the ground and be just fine, because I learned how to fall the hard way. My instructor had us back one night after all the classes were done, and we were working on falls. I'm like jumping, diving, rolling, you name it. And we were just jumping over pads, start off with 1, roll over that pad, start with 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 8. And you're coming from about 6-7 feet off the ground. You got to clear it and then roll through. After a few of those, you hit that mat pretty hard. And the mats we had back then, they were little puzzle mats. If you know what the puzzle mats are, those things aren't that soft, and they don't have much give to them either. And I'm positive you stubbed your toe on it many a time before if you've done any training on them type of mats. But so yeah, that's how I learned to fall. So yeah, I was pretty comfortable getting thrown on any material, whether it be whether it be a mat, a not so thick mat, gym floor, concrete, it didn't matter at that time. Now that's another story. I'm not gonna willingly do it, but back then, hey, I was able to. But so we working on ladies with throws and everything, and it was one lady. She was tall. She was about 6 foot. But I was like, okay, now I wanted, told her what to do and everything. And I got a position so she can do it. Like, okay. And I say, hey, don't worry. You can throw me pretty hard. I'll be fine. And she did with every bit of her strength. And I went up and over so high and so fast. My legs were vertical in the air. And as I'm crashing to the ground, as I feel the wind going past my ears, how fast I'm about to hit the ground, I'm thinking to myself, this is gonna suck. Wow! Hit the mat. It's like, ugh. All I could let out was a gasp. And she's like, oh, you okay? You okay? I was like, I'm fine. I was like, I'm a little shaken up a bit, but I'm okay. I'm good. My inside shook a little bit, but I'm fine. I got up, was like, whew. That was like, hey, she did it right. I couldn't get mad at that. She did it exactly how I told her to. And it would work too. Man, she spiked me hard. But I learned something from that day, though. Always a lesson in every situation. I learned something from that day. When you want to work on throws, have a crash pad. Still get the job done. And the person getting thrown doesn't hurt as much. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Whenever you're working on throws, if you have it available, get a crash pad. It will save you a visit to a chiropractor. I know, trust me.